Yo, this is your man Apollo Brown, and we're checking in with Slowdown Radio. All right, so I was living in Cleveland at the time, and I was heading up to Detroit for the weekend for a beat battle, or not a beat battle. It was just a beat showcase, and I had taken 3 years off of making beats. I had quit. I was done. I wasn't gonna make beats anymore. Then my cousin got me back into it, and was like, "Yo, you need to start." But I was like, "Yo, I got to reinvent myself then. I can't have the same old name that I had before, which I'm not gonna name." So I was like, "Yo, I gotta come up with a name." Well, it just so happens I had a beat showcase that weekend, and so I had to come up with a name quick. I needed to write something down. So on the way back up to Detroit, that 3-hour drive, I had to think of a name, and so I knew I wanted my name to be like a first and last name. I didn't want it to be like, the Mechanical Man, something like that. I wanted it to be, a first and last name. So I thought of Apollo, the Greek god of music. I was like, all right, well, Apollo's cool. What else? What would the last name be? And I was going through it. I'm like, maybe Green or Smith or whatever. And I thought of Brown. And Brown is a nod to James Brown, the godfather of soul. Big James Brown fan. I was like, Apollo Brown. So I called my guy Finale, another a prominent artist in Detroit, great MC. Good friend of mine, and so I called him. I said, "Man, what do you think about this name, Apollo Brown?" He was like, "All right, yeah, that sounds decent. I like that. That's dope." It's like, "All right, cool. I'll run with it." I wasn't 100% sure about it. I just needed a name to write down for the beat showcase. Got to the beat showcase, wrote my name down, Apollo Brown. Went all night. They're calling names. Producers are going up, showcasing. And apparently they've called my name like 3 times, but I didn't know it because I didn't remember that my name now is Apollo Brown. And then they called it one last time. And Finale looked over at me. He was like, isn't that the name that you picked for your name? And I was like, oh, damn. Okay. Yeah. Dang. I wonder how many times they called me, but yeah, they called me, and I went up and showcased, and I played beats, and everybody's head was nodding and faces were scrunching up, and when I got off the stage, everybody was calling me Apollo, and I was like, I guess that's my name. It stuck, I guess so. And I wasn't 100%. I didn't even really, I liked it, but it wasn't like, all right, the name I really wanted, I guess, but it just stuck, man, and there's Apollo Brown, bro.
Okay.
Absolutely. I did, 25, end of 24, it's kind of like this whole year is going to be a trial and error for me, trial and error year, and so I just knew I needed to break away from Mellow Music Group. No bad blood or anything like that. Just I needed to start my own thing. I've been in this business a long time, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be doing it for myself. So I started Escapism, and I wanted to start it off with an app, and I quickly knew that the app game is not for me. Behind the scenes, running an app, that's just not even my cup of tea, man. So quickly I shut the app down before it really gained any traction, and so a lot of people still don't even know it was even a thing, and that's good. But I really wanted something that I can engage with people with, other than social media. I wanted more engagement, so I started the Patreon. The Patreon was everything that I wanted. It's everything that I wanted. I could talk to my supporters and have sample challenges and chop talks, and send out Zoom links to people, and we get on for 3 hours and talk. Really engaging with my fan base And that's been amazing, man. I love that. I love the Patreon platform. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm doing now. I think that's where everything's going right now. It's like lack of ownership. So none of us really own anything anymore.
Yes.
We're subscribing to things. I can't go buy Pro Tools. I got to subscribe to Pro Tools.
Yes.
I can't go buy Photoshop. I got to subscribe to Photoshop now. You know, it's so many different programs that we used to just buy in a box and load it on our computer. It's all subscription based now. We don't buy the phone anymore, our cell phones. Our cell phones are something that we pay for monthly now. It's a subscription.
Yes.
You know, that's just kind of how the world is, that's where it's going now. And then, oh yeah, look at that. The original. Nice. Anyway, that's just kind of where the world's going right now. Subscription-based services. And even when it comes to engagement with your favorite artists and the other way around, engagement with your fans, you know, it's easier for a subscription-based service. Especially when, you know, the fate of social media, you know, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, whatever, we don't know if it's going to be here. You amass all these followers, and then you don't know if you're going to lose those followers the next day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So we all have to do something away from the social media platform to also engage with our followers. So. It gets overwhelming, I think, but there's always going to be something new. Yeah, and even our music. You know, no one buys physicals anymore unless you're a diehard fan. You subscribe to, you know, DSPs.
Yes.
And that's just kind of how it is now. And it sucks for us making music. Streaming's horrible, but it's more of a business card these days. So I don't know, man. You know, it's kind of the way of the world, and you know, we got to kind of embrace where it's going. I know a lot of us, especially older cats in the industry, are mad about certain things, and you know, but we can't change it, man. It is what it is, and we just kind of got to embrace it and figure out ways to create an income. Unfortunately, no, I don't think so. Unless you travel around the beat circuit and you're playing like producer weeklies or monthlies or whatever, it's kind of hard to do this in the States. I don't think a lot of listeners in the States have the patience to listen to beats for 75 minutes. After about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they're like, "Yo, where's the MC? Where's the artist? Where's the rapper?" It's just easier to do out here because you guys have a different respect, a different support, a different. The way that you look at hip hop out here is just a little bit different than back home. I don't think they have the patience for it. It's an odd choice, but probably Jay Electronica. I'm a fan of Jay Electronica. I think that I don't know, Jay Elec's dope, and I think that we can make some magic together. Okay. No, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. When you see it on TV or when you see it online and they show you all the bad stuff about Detroit, all the crime and, you know, the dilapidated areas and, you know, nah, man, Detroit's beautiful. Detroit has a beautiful personality. The people are resilient and hardworking, blue-collar city. The downtown is beautiful. And the talent.
No traffic.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Perfect. And the talent that comes out of Detroit is,
yes,
bar none, some of the best talent ever. That's hard to say, man. I mean, it depends on where you look and where you listen. I mean, music to me is never fallen off. You know, underground is kind of taking a back seat to the commercial sector, you know, for radio and TV and all that stuff. But, you know, we've never really fallen off. And I think AI adds to what we're doing as long as you don't rely on it to make music or make beats, or you can use it to add on to what you're doing. But, you know, a lot of us don't trust AI yet. You know, I know it's a part of our world, and it's something that's going to be a part of music. So again, like before, I said we gotta embrace the changes, man, and you know, so we'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know. Europe is obviously I'm a mainstay out here. You know, I'm out here all the time. Have been for the last 15 years. It's kind of like for me, it's a musical getaway. It is a, how do you even put that, man? It's like a place where I just kind of go meditate. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I meditate through music. Again, because the support system is different out here. It's different. You know, you actually feel like somebody out here. A lot of times in the States, man, we're doing it and we're doing what we do, but sometimes you don't feel like anybody out in the States, man, you know, and you come out here and you feel like, yo, they respect what I'm doing. They actually love my music. They support it. They show up to shows. They come to the merch table and buy merch and support me in every way possible. It's just one of those things that if you've come out here, and I told Fillmore Green this, you come out to Europe and you do a tour, you get spoiled. And then you go back home to the States and you feel like, man, that same show that just had 600 people screaming every word, hands up. And then you go back home and perform that same show to 60 people because no one came out, or no one came out to support. And 50 of those 60 people are other producers and rappers. It gets a bit like, man, you know, it's an ego blast, you know, so no, I love Europe. I'll keep coming to Europe. I used to come out here 6 times a year, you know, for long periods of time. And I can't do that anymore. I mean, I'm a married man, I got kids, and so I try to come out at least twice a year and just use it as my therapy and my just the way that I come out here and just chill within the music, man. I love it. You know, I love it. So absolutely.
Okay.
I love it, man. Nice energy, good crowd. The venue's dope. The sound was good. I mean, you can't ask for better.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
We appreciate you coming out. You guys could be anywhere else tonight, but you're here vibing with us, man. We appreciate that. Make some noise for yourselves. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, let that breathe, make some noise.